Blessings on blessings. So happy first fruits. This is another feast. Remember, I told you as the feast come along, I'm gonna break down each one so you can have an understanding. This one is a very powerful feast as well. Let's get into it. So, what happened on first fruits? The Israelites brought out the first sheaf, what they call an armor, of the barley harvest to the temple. It was waved by the priest before the Lord, symbolizing dedication of the harvest to God. Our faith is in the rest of the harvest to come, and no part of the new harvest could be eaten until they made an offering that they made like this when they were waving it, right? Let's check it out. What does that have to do with us and Jesus? Jesus as the fulfillment of the first fruits. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15:20, it says this, but in fact, Christ has been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who had fallen asleep. Jesus rose on the first fruits, right? So after resting on the tomb, he rose on the third day. This would be the third day. Remember, we said Jesus passed on Passover in that last post. So this would actually, according to the biblical time frame, is when he rose on first fruits. Now that would be the first day, which was a Sunday. But according now to the calendar that we go by now, which is the Gregorian, but we don't go by that. When it comes to the feast days and all that, you have to go by the biblical calendars, and that's how you would get that he rose on the first fruits. Because remember, Jesus was what? The fulfillment of all the feasts. That's why the feasts are so important and so fire, because when you go to study them, you're like, what? So these are the symbolisms. The first fruits represented Christ, the first resurrected. The barley harvest represented the people of God and those to be resurrected. Waving before God represented Jesus, presented to the Father as the first accepted, no eating offering, right? We receive life only after Christ was accepted. Now it also has spiritual and financial lessons. Let's get into it. What are they? In Proverbs 3:9 and 10, it says this, honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of your produce, that your barns will be filled with plenty. God honors the principle of giving him the first and the best. Giving God our first fruits, time, money, and energy, harvest, unlocks supernatural blessing. Just as Israel gave the first crop, we give God our first returns, believing more is coming. The prophetic insight for that day is this: resurrection power over death, kingdom increase from seed to harvest, God's ownership and provision, the beginning of a new creation. It's a powerful time to sow and consecrate increase and to declare resurrection over every dead area in your life. You want to know ways to celebrate it? You worship God with thanksgiving. Thank God for resurrection life. You could give a first fruit offering to anybody, to somebody poor, to the kingdom, anything that's advancing the kingdom, anything that God leads you to give and what to give, right? So the first fruits is the whole of something. You want to give God the whole first of that, showing God, this is dedicated unto you, it belongs to you, and I just want to show you how much I love you, right? You can read the scriptures, Leviticus chapter 23, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, Proverbs 3, and pray for the harvest in your business, in your family, in your finances. And you just want to take this time to give God your first. So you might say, Vision, I don't got the first, and I don't get paid till Friday. Or you might say, dang, it don't even got to be money. Whatever first that you have, where you could dedicate your whole first and best to God. Because remember, he was the first fruits to rise, to never die again. So this is first fruits. Go forth in Jesus' name. Let's get it.